Hey guys, Hoy Archer here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys quick little tutorial on how I get my bends in my bowl. I've got a lot of comments in the past on how I achieve the evenness and everything on the bowl. So I decided to go ahead and make a kind of a how-to video. So this is Larry's bowl that I'm working on here. So as you can see already, I've already got the bends, the main bends in, and the SIA part with the reflex that I want. So I'm going to show you how I achieve this bends on this section here. As you can see, it really is a slight bend, but it's not exactly what I want. So what I normally do is I measure from the end of your SIA, if you have SIAs, or the tip of your bowl. Like what I normally do, since I have the SIAs, I just go right from the tip of the point here of the bowl to the upper part of the handle, measure that in half, and then I bend this first bend to, I heat this whole section up here, and then I bend this, and then from this half mark all the way to the rest of the SIA, I just heat this section up, and then I give it the bend that it needs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I achieve that bend. So when you heat this up, what you don't want to do is you don't want this pipe to start popping. You want it to just be enough so you can get a good flex into it. And I do this all by hand. I don't use a pot. Certain bowls I will, but for this build I'm using all by hand. See that right there? It's kind of getting to what I want. So the goal here is to make everything symmetrical. And what I normally do is I put the knock point on my knee or something, and I kind of just shape it by eye, giving it the look that I'm looking for. I'm gonna have to put some bend in this, but and the goal and the key thing here is you don't want to like be bending this too much to the left or too much to the right. You really want to make sure your bends go straight, and that'll prevent your SIAs and your bowl from snaking left to right. And pretty much when you get it to where you want it to be, I normally just kind of hold it into place. You can see the bend in there. And my goal is not to get creases in the bowl. So what I normally do is I just take a ruler and measure how much the SIA is pointing up. It's 1.5 inches there. Just 1 inch there. 2 inches. 2 inches. 1.75 inches. Alright, so as you can see, I got some work to do here. This is where a lot of the bowl building process comes into play. You know, you could heat this up and then all of a sudden these two are a little bit different. When I first did these bends, the two limbs here were symmetrical at 2.5 inches each. But since I put this bend in now, for some reason this thing dropped down to under 2 inches. As you can see there. So this is all part of the bowl building tillering process. As you can kind of see how the bowl has this unevenness here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat this up and try to get the bend back in there. Hopefully I can catch all this on video. And you know, basically just straight out tillering process on everything here. And you know, it's a lot of work that goes into making these bowls shoot. I mean, not just shoot, but shoot really good. So, you know, just take your guys' time with the process and don't rush it. Oh, shit, that's hot. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. You kind of see him getting that bend back there. I'll give it a little bit more here. So for this part, I normally just put it on my knee, and I just kind of push down, get the bend that I'm looking for. And just make sure you constantly sight your bowl to make sure that it's not uneven. I think that might be a trick there. So I'm at 2.5 and 2 3/4. So I gotta give this a little bit more of a bend in here. Just a little bit more heat, and I think we should be there. I mean, you could actually stop at this point, but you know, I want to kind of make it a little bit more symmetrical. Two and 3/4, 2 3/4. There we go. So we fixed that bend here, and that bend here, and our Sias are 1 inch and 1 inch. So as you can see here, everything else is pretty much all ready to go. See, that's 1 inch there. And what I normally do is I just measure from the center of the Sia. Give me a good point of reference. Yep, 1 inch. So this bowl is considered all symmetrical. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop right here, let this thing cool overnight, let it get 100% cool down, and then put the first string on it and see how this thing pulls. Oh, here's another thing I like to check too. Just to make sure that the bowl is level all the way down. As you can see, put it here. You flip it over. I can see a little bit of a gap, but that's not too bad. I think with the it's about the same. So what I can do later on is I can actually go and heat this up, this handle part, and kind of push it a little bit more center. But we'll see when I string this up. This might actually help with the centerness of the handle. Having the handle just a little bit more to the right might give it a little bit more of a center shot without actually having to bend the bowl. Alright, so that's kind of how I tiller my bowls. You guys have any questions? You guys all know where to leave it. Check you guys later.